Good morning, Azeroth. It is the 10th of August 2024. Grab your morning beverage and welcome to the stream. We'll be jumping straight back into the Radiant Echoes on our Live Realm characters before going back into the remix where we have one more character to hit that level 50 crossing point, unlocking our heritage armours once all these characters get ported over to the Live Realms. Still plenty of time to bump the rest up to 70 as well. The Radiant Echoes seeming fast enough to get our Live Realm alts, at least most of them, close to those breaking points. We will start with the Rogue. Hope you're all doing well this morning. Make sure got your beverage, got your drink. Have a good old swig. Tea not quite lukewarm yet. Won't take long. Right. Now it's the same rules we're looking for on the Live Realm characters of getting those to 50 that we have not yet unlocked the allied race for. The heritage armour for, I should say. The live equivalent. There we are. Okay, it looks like round 2 of the event. Round 1 will have been finished by now within those first 5 minutes. Should still be plenty of players about, so we don't have to worry about getting battered into the ground. Speaking of, we had a stream of the League of Legends Riot Games fighting game yesterday. Oh no, there's no one here. That will be death for me. Start with smaller stuff. I will say, someone who is a casual enjoyer of fighting games, it was an absolute whale of a time. We had a lot of fun. Oh no, mistakes were made. Stun that one. Let's focus up for a moment. Actually play the video game. Oh no. Oh no, we're gonna vanish. Oh, I guess on a Saturday, there's a bit less of the immediate jump. We might have to wait for the turn of the hour to not get completely battered about. See if it keeps to 100% at the top there. That is as well. There's nobody about past that first. Frustrating. Have to start at dead on 9 for and be in and already here. Shame. We'll get back to him. That's alright. Teleport to safety. We'll jump straight over into the remix. Saturday morning, way less folks about. Most folks probably having a lie-in. That's alright. We've plenty to do. We've plenty to get to. Much more doable, I think, if our characters were at least a little more geared, so the scaling was kinder. Alright, here though, we know the drill. We grab our dailies.
What is your purpose?
There we go. Scenario, raid, and dungeon.
Goodbye.
Get signed up. Start with the raids. We can get away with signing up for all of them this morning, I think. Given it's the last one. And once you hit that 50, that threshold, if you've been doing the raids, that bonus XP gain on the cloak really snowballs out of control. So getting from 50 to 70 is actually extremely quickly by comparison. I know there are methods out there where people have been doing this whole 10 to 70 in under an hour, which is wild. I'd have to properly research or have a group, I imagine, to do so, but at the moment, we're handling our... Oh no, swap to tank. We're handling it well enough for our purposes. 12 days to the expansion, with plenty of time. Hit the wrong button. There we go. Get our shield on. Grab our quest.
What now?
Yep, we know what it is. Try and get some aggro off everyone. Looks like it's going to be a quick one. There's the level. Sprint our way to the boss. Get our little debuff going on. Good morning, fellas, and goodbye. Right, grab the sword for the quest. Oop, that zombie. At least they're being patient and waiting for us. Not zooming ahead quite too quickly. Right. Now, I'm expecting in the coming week a little bit more in the way of the 2.5D animated short cinematic. Threads of Destiny was very enjoyable. We will have to see what characters they focus on for the others. They're just going. Oh no, I didn't. We've got to put the sword in the fountain before Inquisitor Whitemane dies. Okay, we got it, we got it. We have time. They've respawned. Okay, that's phase 2 of that fight. Quickly grab our XP. Leveled again.
I'm out of range.
Come on, throw the weapon. Okay, we did a touch of damage. That should be all we need. Goodness me. Let me hand in the quest first game. Give me a second to breathe, Pandaria. Come on, where's Liliana? Yep. Come on, give me it. I did, I mean, wouldn't go quite that far. Please. Please. I want to hit the enter button.
My blade stays sharp.
We got him. And there's another level. Quickly get our spools, our bronze, our threads. Better shield, better helmet. A fist weapon on the main hand. Pretty fancy. Excuse me, Mercer Orc. Oh, we arms again. The auto swapping is a little frustrating because it doesn't seem to be consistent. I'm not sure quite what the goal is there. Yep, more of that. More shield slam. Get our reflect over here. Attempt to remember to use it when needs be. I know, dear, but we'll get him. There we go. Some nice little lightning bolts. Love to see it.
I don't have a target.
Lieutenant, good morning. And good night. Moving off now. Where's the barrel we got to blow up? There we are. And not sweating it here. Just making our way calmly through. Weather's getting a little windier outside. There's looking to be perhaps a thunderstorm tomorrow, and I haven't managed to stream yet during one. And over the years, the internet occasionally just completely eats it when there's a storm, so we're going to have to weather that as it comes, I suppose. Should be fine. We had a brief instant during our little fighting game yesterday where everything kind of just paused for a moment. But the stream seemed to reconnect itself very quickly. Very grateful for that. Especially when it was going so well. A lot of fun for a game that's going to be free to play. So they've still got plenty of tests to go. The current one's up until the 19th. We'll probably do about 5 to 6 more days of playing on that one. We'll certainly be back into it this evening. And WoW terms, and 12 days to the expansion leaves us plenty of time to finish all these alts. And then with some days left, we'll have to go into all our separate characters, clean up those quest logs, clean up those banks, get some things into the wall bank, now that all seems to be working properly. Maybe a day spent actually unlocking all these heritage armors and storylines that we've been working on. And they're not the longest of quest lines in some cases, however. Curious to see. Some were more engaging than others, certainly of the ones I've done so far. Standouts were the newer Draenei one, that one was pretty great. A lot of information for the Draenei and rebuilding their city or wanting to build it elsewhere. Their flying spaceship. You got a nice little Hearthstone reward on top of the armor and storyline, which is a nice bonus. A little translocating sci-fi-esque Hearthstone. Then the Orcs was just a delight. It was going through an old Orcish ritual, and celebration, seeing loads of characters from across different expansions. Very nostalgic, very lore heavy. But they haven't all been complete bangers.
I don't have a target.
For a fair few, my memories of them are distant, let's say. Cloudy. I think as a step to the game and the importance of having a bit more bespoke content for each individual race, they've been something that Blizzard have been building up for a while, and I'm pretty sure they've got the vast majority of them done now. There'll of course be
Too far away.
the Earthen coming in with the War Within. The Allied Races version is more, you hit level 50, you go to their starting zone, and then you get a brief cutscene or dialogue giving you a bit more information. And it's the original races that get a bit more of a deep dive. I think the only remaining one on those are the Pandaren, which I'm sure we'll get at some point. Goodbye, guardman. We will go and save our prisoner. Better pants. Love to see it. There we go. The same fortress, same layout every time. Yes, he's very happy. Yep, better on our AoE.
Shall we make our way off this miserable little island?
We will.
The failed...
Poor Faramore. Alright, can hand in our dungeon.
Speak. Guard yourself.
Can hand in our scenario. Where is she? There you are. Got more folks out on the remix. It's early morning,
Be careful.
which is interesting compared to the echoes. Plenty of folks doing the same thing we are. Getting alts bumped up in time. Right. Still waiting for all our raid queues to pop. Might take a wee bit longer, so let's get our upgrades done. You know the drill. Gems out and gems in. Where are we? Get them in those pants. Good stuff. Right, we'll scrap all these. There we are. Now we should probably have a good flyover Kunlai, as again that is still a point of contention that we have not got all of the achievements for. Still looking for treasure so we can unlock Chen Stormsnout's hat. That's in some of the meta achievements for the event. If we go down here at Remix Pandaria, you'll see all these big blue ones. We are still missing this one. Because they're account wide, all we need to do is, as I say, find the treasure at this point. The others in the title I'm a little less bothered by. Perhaps we will, pardon me, spend a bit of time getting one of our characters to be overpowered enough to solo some group content. Will very much depend on how quickly we can get all of our other alts up there. Right, let's fly on over. Grab some bronze as we go. As constant as the 90 days of Pandaria Remix has been, in terms of like a bonus bit of content that they've added to the game to keep things fresh and give folks a reason to keep playing outside of the years of just waiting for patch cycles. I remember, I think it was Warlords of Draenor had a huge wait between patches. We were talking somewhere in the region of like 6 to 9 months, maybe longer than that, with no new content. And for Dragonflight, they have managed to keep on the 8-week cycle of new stuff. It's gone over very well for them. Even if sometimes that new stuff's a little smaller, still giving players a reason to log in and stuff to do. They've very much said it's okay to take a break, whereas in Shadowlands and maybe BFA, there was a lot of, oh, you must log in every day, do all your different activities, play the video game, and treat it almost like a second job. Which was very frustrating for a lot of folks playing at the time. And even for me, as someone who didn't care about gear or anything like that, that sentiment kind of bubbled its way through. You're keeping track of different folks playing and a hold of the news. Oh, what was the achievement we got? I don't know. That was a treasure. Did that not count? Oh no. Certainly didn't give us the head. Hang on. Go with the remix one. Go with Chen's hat. Did the summit. Done elusive foes. It's this one. 3 of the treasures. Oh no. Statue of Zuet. Alright, do you know what? We can use this list rather than looking it up. We can guess that statue of the White Tiger will be somewhere in the White Tiger Temple. And while we're just waiting for our raid queues this morning. Right, let's have a good old nosy. Big temple, big old tiger, hello! Check our corners. Nothing else in this one. What about down the stairs? Get me in there. Do some sleuthing. I don't see one. I don't see a statue. Mind you, it could have been something stolen from the temple, in which case it would be absolutely anywhere in the zone. Try and keep an eye on these back bits. Smaller side temples, maybe? Have ourselves a nosy. Doesn't look like it. Investigation and geography. Some of my weak points. It may end up being a Google search on another day, but we might as well give it an honest to God's effort. Or we'll go into our raid and they'll start popping. That's fine. Once DPS. Jump us back to arms. Quickly spec that out with the starter build. It's very smooth for us to do so. Add some cleave, which replaces whirlwind now. Very nice. Less button for me. 200 gold, that treasure head. Doesn't seem like much these days, but for a poorer WoW player like myself, whose gold has always been
The ancient vaults of the
sod all,
Mogu,
I'll take it.
untouched by time for thousands
Good
of
morning,
years.
Cho.
Who knows what's
Let's have a sip of our tea before it gets lukewarm.
Many young the Mogu held considerable power over the stones of the earth.
Mistakes were
Their
made.
magic lingers
It's
on,
already there.
even centuries later.
This is the problem of making a pot to have with your breakfast and then getting the second cup out of it. That second cup going cold very quickly. And there goes that first boss.
That was close.
This first one will always be quicker, as it is the one most people will be queuing into just to do the daily.
Activated with the demise of the Guardians. We
I need to
seem
target
have
something
awakened a spirit of some kind.
All things considered, it was still a relatively quick queue, and because we signed up to all 5 of them at once, which is the max we can do, still a discovery I only made in the past month that still applies to the live realm. Those queues will kind of keep on trucking, or at least keep us in the position we were on, making it much faster than restarting every single time. Many more loots.
Was betrayed by 4 emperors of the
Already
Mogu.
level 48.
His
I'm going to be
body
hitting that mark
destroyed
pretty quickly.
each time, only to rise again.
And I think once we get this set of 5 raids done, we won't sign up to any of the others. We will swap over to
We have seen
one of our other characters on the remix. At least until the hour swap over for the Radiant Echo.
Must seek the legendary weapon within the depths of the vaults.
Pretty sure, yeah, the monk's a healer. So any that might be able to queue a little faster as folks make their way to playing.
I will stay behind and investigate this dais further.
I can't hit them.
Get closer.
Chuck it. Eh. Come on, ranged. Get these pterodactyls down. There we are.
I need a target.
Sorted. Right, where's Garajal? Garajal? Garajal. I had it right first time.
Time to play, friends.
Isn't he nice? Is that Tusks of Manaroth? One of the main reasons people farm in the event, because you can get bones by killing Garrosh each day on all the different difficulty tiers apart from the looking for raid one.
He'd be dying
And you get enough of those, you can buy some unique heirlooms that, as far as I know, will be gone when the event ends.
Something first.
And also buy dead shoulder pads. Right, let's make sure before we enter that we hit our 7% and straight into the next one. Beautiful benefit of queuing for multiple LFRs at the same time. Right, go on. Do your little thing where you zoom in.
Death be a doorway and time a window. I'll be back.
How the dialogue got through. Haunting us into the next part.
Tread lightly.
But technically, because it's managed to do it in chronological order, it would have been right through that door up there. Go on, Cho. Hit those buttons.
The ancient vaults of the kings of Mogushan. What might this button do?
Enough time to redo her helmet. Keep that going.
Look here. It is the history of the
Again, we could get super lazy with it and not bother changing up gear at all and be carried through, but that wouldn't then go well for our scenarios or doing stuff out in the world.
Of Kyung the Merciless, a great conqueror who ruled
How's
his
that XP buff
vassals
looking?
with an iron
195% when we were 171 when we started.
I've heard tales of this one.
I think even with these 12 days left, if you're someone who still plays WoW and hasn't tried
And genius
the remix event, I say it's very much worth doing, at least going through once and having a play about.
Then the demented? According to these texts,
We've wondered on many of these mornings, what on earth shall they do next with the remix? You'd think the easiest answer would be pick another expansion and do the same type of thing. Make it a collectathon. Learn some lessons from this one. More ambitious thoughts, like what if they made it like a whole mode of its own that's maybe up once every few months and it unlocks loads of different things, but then you'd look into queue times for all the different LFRs and dungeons and whatnot. There'd have to be some considerations there. Oh, we nearly died there. I don't quite know what was hitting me. I thought I was further away from the spear boys.
A secret passage has opened beneath the platform. Look at the dust along the floor. These dark
I wish I could, Joe. A little much to render dust. Especially if we could displace it. Just have everyone treading over little footprints everywhere. Oh no. I think you'd even see that in the bigger video games, like in the more very high quality your God of Wars and your things like that. Snow displacement's always a favourite when a game has really good snow physics. And you're able to look at your footsteps as you go and walk on through and just muck around with it. I'm doing that in that first new God of War, just God of War. Getting up to that mountaintop with the snow and just mooching around up there on that path. Some Lord of the Rings-esque kind of scale. It's a great time. Very much looking forward to when they release the second one, Ragnarok on PC. We'll certainly be playing that on the channel. I was never a big God of War fan for the old games, but that new one just did so well. And at the time I had brief access to a PlayStation, so I've got the game, managed to 100% it in that time frame. It was a lot of fun. That story was fantastic. Very eager to see the sequel, and have managed to stay relatively spoiler free, which becomes more and more troublesome on the internet. We've managed it for the Elden Ring DLC, past a few thumbnails, spoiling some of the bosses, but it was to be expected. We've done alright with Wolverine and Deadpool, past a couple of big spoilers, but as long as the meat hasn't been spoiled, I don't mind. And it's the kind of thing you just want to see at the cinema when you get an opportunity anyway. At some point. We'll carve out the time at some point. Still a lot to figure out. The shorts are getting faster in terms of my production on them. Like, the first couple of days, it would take me an hour to do so. At the very basic level of them. And then, as the week went on, I got that down to about 20-30 minutes. And then the time went up again when I started adding some more effects to them and learning a few more bits and bobs with my editing software. I was starting to bring that time down again as I learned hotkeys and things like that, just to make the process smoother. A little worried for how I'm going to be able to edit together some of the fighting game footage, just because of the resolution of my screen being the wide screen, trying to chop it into that shorts angle. And given a fighting game tends to be two people either side, it will mainly be capturing when things are frantic and being beaten down. But we'll see. It's new challenges. I'm looking forward to giving it a go. Alright, the waiting room. The many soldiers of the Mogu. Good sense of scale. I feel if the game had a huge, draw distance in terms of it would keep going up and they could keep populating it, you'd get something obscene. But it's not exactly a requirement. Especially when I saw some statistics that most folks, like just using Steam as an example, because they post a lot of, I don't know if survey is the right word, but statistics based on like what kind of computer an individual using, what graphics cards people are using. And like the top one was like the 3060 and that series of cards, and then below that it was like the 1060 was the highest percent used. These are only like 4%, but it makes up for a lot. So those newer ones they were pushing and all the 480 series and all of that was getting scalped. People just not ready to jump. Throw down that money. Times are tough. It's a lot to jump graphics cards. And after all the skullduggery with AI stuff, and Nvidia trying to jump on board at that next train, everything has been delayed a year. The game devs have to keep these things in mind. If the vast majority of your player base is not on hardware that you can really push things with, there is very little point in doing so to an absurd degree.
How much do we not know?
There we go, thank you, Cho. We'll swap around our stuff. The tiger shoulder pads. It's an old favourite of mine back in Mists. The LFR colour scheme, not the best, but I do like the model quite a lot. And the spewing flames is delightful. Right, let's get our gems in. We've got a lot more of these little gems. Wonder if they bring back the Mogu one day. That'd be nice. Right. Look about with our gems. Much ping. There isn't a huge reason to min-max with our gems. It is more the better ones I create, the more bronze I'll be able to scrap them for come those final days. Maybe the statue's in this house. No, of course not. Why would it be? Hello, sweaty glove.
I know fortune when I smell it.
Hell of a name, Grummy. Hell of a name. Good for you. Don't think we'll be taking any of your munchies and crunchies, though. Alright. The average wait time's pretty low, but we've been in there a while, as it's been counting while we're inside the other raids. We'll have another fly about. Let's see if our angry friend, the Shah, is up or not, and if he is, if he's dead. As he so often tends to be. Not currently present. We'll have a little seat here, just while we double check that achievement again. I can track these, can't I, these days? Yes. Hose and cache. Bright treasure. A tick remover. Now, there were sprites in a cave early on. There could be a little treasure in there. That was over here somewhere, I believe. We will go have a quick investigate as our queues are going. Kill some enemies on the way around. Yeah, here we are. There's a load of sprites here. There's probably more sprites in the zone, but this is the first one that came to mind. It's giant icicles. Let's check our nooks and crannies. Not get stuck. The music is very apt. And the rats. Haven't seen any treasure, have you, rats? Where's my Baldur's Gate 3 speak to animals? Where's my divinity pet pal? I suppose that'd be a little unnecessary for a game like WoW, but it'd be nice for druids to have. You're a stolen yak. You are not guarding stolen treasure. Nay, you are not. Shame. Oh, he's up. I didn't see anyone there, though. There's a good chance we'll get to him in time. Assuming no one overpowered just walks past and boops him in the face. Yep, there he goes. God stabbed it. You sprites haven't left the treasure, like, up and around here, have you? It's not just lying about on the top. seems unlikely. Where else do sprites spawn? Now again, the treasure might just be something that spawns on occasion. I don't know if they're up the whole time. That's why we may have to Google in the end. There were some on top of this cliff, but they were the 5.1 patch, so I don't think the treasures from base 1 will necessarily be up here. Doesn't look likely. Nay. The Hosen treasure cache should be... because there's only one set of hose in here. And like the caves up just below the Shah might give us an idea. Obviously the Mogu treasure head was here. We don't need to worry about that. We've got about 20 minutes until the turnover. The Radiant Echo. Let's kill some Hosen. Ook them in their dukers, as they'd say. Let's have a little investigate around the place. Check out the homes, check behind things. Try and be thorough. Which there'll be someone in the future leaving a comment. It was right there! It was right behind you the whole time! The lucky dues don't count, we know that. Right, another house. Nay. Going to be a somber walkthrough. Nothing found. Hello? Nope. There's also the Hosen camp that has that arena in it, but that didn't seem likely. We'll investigate there next if we don't find it here. Let's make sure we're still drinking cold tea or no. Important to stay hydrated for the rest of y'all too. Oh, there we go. Oop. Any treasure? Let me in. Nope. A cave could be possible. Big smacks. Ah, we've got into another LFR. Let us quickly swap to our tank spec. Quickly grab one of these. Grab one of these. Enter. Weapon and shield. Be very silly not to do so. As the Q pops, we'll have another run around here. Ow. Do you mind? I don't recall a time when I was using a fist weapon on a tank with a shield. I like it. Alright. The Heart of Fear. And they dropped immediately, so this will be a very quick one. Speed things up. Come here, you lot. And you lot. Let's try and keep up. Let him pontificate before us. Get his speeches off. We'll probably kill him before he manages to swap platform. But we will see. We're already level 50 with our goblins, so that ticks off all of the Pandaria remix characters for unlocks for Allied and Heritage Armour race. Long way around those words. That's alright. I'll learn English one day. Not quite. He's going to fly again. Kill him! Red Starry Sword. We will take that as the upgrade. Very nice. Again, a couple of recolors and different transmogs for weapons and stuff that they just put throughout the remix. It was not choice to not put them on a vendor for bronze, which meant for collectors it was a little more troublesome. but I can appreciate them just adding more.
One today failed their test. Will you?
Oh, dead.
They approach? Good. I don't have a time. Your guard invaders. I, Lord of Blades.
Get our debuff on him. Everybody do more damage. Boopy snoot.
Can you follow my belief?
Noted. Another shield. It is. It's a trolley one. Some tusks on it. Old dark spear. Witch Doctor-esque. Pardon me. Everybody making their way. Some extra movement on the goblin.
Pitiful wingless grubs. You step out into my domain.
Wingless
I will
grubs.
hear your death screams as you plummet
Doesn't work as
from
well
the
when we've got Drakfear and Demon Hunters with us now, but you know what? It was made so long ago.
Show them who
Can't
controls
future-proof
the
everything.
winds of Pandaria. Wrath of the Empress. Bring mighty Garelon to us.
One thing they could do with remix stuff, well, it might be too much work for the smaller like game modes team. Not necessarily be to rework expansions or anything, nothing of the sort, or like, and the remodel elements, but some new stuff would be interesting. Yeah, and there was the little quest line we had at the beginning, kind of lead us into this remix and teach us about the event and how things worked. There was nothing really past that in terms of new. They're trying with Season and Discovery and Classic Land. Again, so curious about all that stuff in Season of Discovery, but I have just no desire to engage with the classic game. I don't want to punch things for weapon skill, as it were. No negatives to anyone who's been really enjoying it. It's fantastic that that aspect of the game is getting so much attention. And the lore implications for some of it as well is truly fascinating, like seeding Xalatath back in there as kind of like hidden photos. Like, all these things did happen, we're only just learning about them now. I think it's a pretty engaging way to introduce new lore into old things before people start screaming, oh, it's a retcon. It's like, that's not what a retcon is. You can reframe something, you can juggle things back so more modern stuff makes sense. You got a game that's over 20 years old, and a lot of the people who were there are no longer there. Like, there's a lot of things to consider. Right, 2 more of the raids. This single stretch. What was that? I was tank again, so that's fine. Grab you. Grab you. Leap over to the next one. Ow. Then we'll fight these Jinyu. Things are dying quick enough. Should be alright. I really like these one-shot raids. Like, in the terms of, look, this is the whole thing. We can see it.
Was not meant for storm approaches.
We hit the lightning bolt one first. Nope, we hit the debuff one first. Not that it really matters in here. We know it doesn't really matter in which order we do things. Someone's in a spot of danger over there. Oh, they lived, it's fine. Right, I'll wait for our dragon friend to come over.
No, the waters. I must resist.
Swap our gems about.
I shall not.
Still people running all the way up there who don't know. It's fun to see. Right, we can get some more epic gems in there. Get a big old crit one. Big old mastery one. And some speed. Why not? Right, spoop his nose.
Must be protected.
Get the debuff, so we see nobody else has cast it. Dead.
I have been free.
Well, not dead. Freed, as it were. Hey, and we won't get the chest because someone started fighting the water elementals. Give it game. Just wait for that gold symbol to change. And hopefully we don't have to play too much hide and seek with our water elemental up there. Very nice. More upgrades, more to sort, more bronze for a week's time. Now she'll usually do gain a shield, become invulnerable, kill some ads, boop her down. Sometimes we'll be able to just hide, go invisible and sod off into one of these corners. We'll see if we get lucky. She put the shield on as I hit my debuff. That's a shame. That's poor play by me. It's alright. There we go. Another tiny box.
Did I? Was I? It was
More upgrade.
cloudy.
We wait a moment for her to come walk up to the Shah. How much bronze are we sat on this goblin? 54k. Swing by a lot of decent stuff.
I have to go now.
There's like over 10 characters to go through who will be at a similar bronze vein. And getting them all at 70, they get a big old dump of bronze for hitting that level cap.
To make the water not cloudy anymore. Will you help?
We will, so come on, make your way over. Wobble over. There you go. In the way Warlocks, Death Knights and Druids can customise all their forms and pets now, it would be nice to see Shaman get the opportunity to do so and pick like all the different elemental models that have been added over the years. That'd be pretty nice. More customization, more goodies. We're greedy collectible players, we're greedy. There we go. Hit our 7% Fred. Get our other spulls going nice and quick. Boop, boop, boop. Helm upgrade. Get these on quick. Gems out, gems in. We know the drill. There we are. Again, nothing fancy. Not really sweating it on the details or the specifics. Ain't much of a need. It's laying there. Come on, one more. And we'll just slap the aura on. Right, into the last one. That leaves us 10 minutes until the echoes refresh. Hopefully there are more people about at that point. Not really using hamstring. Can move that off and over. Come on, get us in. Get us in. More to do, game. Our cloak looking now. 216%. Alright. Come on, everyone. There goes the trail. Shampoo, taking the lead. Oh, you love glancing at all the names over time.
Your defiance of the Empress ends here.
Especially when people are making so many alts for remix.
Pandaria will fall beneath the wings
Having to
of
really
the
push it
Empress.
sometimes. Debuff them all.
Time for the Empress is the wings of the Empress cannot. You will pay for your transgression.
Hit me! Bang! First one down. Could easily be handling this within those 10 minutes. We can do our upgrade while we're going. Gems out, gems in. Multitasking. Slap a crit one in there for good. Oh, we can make it a purple. Very nice. Sprint and keep up. So ideally we're not locked out of the room. Wonder if for whatever expansion they remix next, they just choose to not lock boss doors. I know that seems like it would be something that's kind of baked into WoW on a level that would be really troublesome to unbake, for lack of a better term. Make sure all the ads are dead before anyone pulls the boss, or it will bug out. No pun intended. I know they're all manted.
An
Yep, hit the growths, and he's dead. Right, I think somebody already hit the boss because he's gone, which means he'll reappear momentarily. There we go.
You must be powerful to have come this
Get our debuff on him. Start booping him. Wait for the big guy to spawn so we can pull aggro over here. Just on the off chance someone under gear just gets booped in the nose and immediately falls over. Now he's going to run to the middle. He's going to start his little cast. Let's hit this goblin rocket button just because it's silly. Very dumb. And there we go. That's one more. Ooh, brittle. That's a good one. I don't know much, but I know brittle's a decent one. Get rid of static.
Bar the exits. Destroy these intruders.
Yes, I'm an angry queen.
Bless her. There's nothing wrong with her as a boss, it's just didn't really stand out much. Saw her a little bit in the questing in the Dread Wastes. Ooh. 7% bonus just off a guy. Lucky. Alright, here she comes. Get our debuff on. Get our defensives going. Big shield slam. Down she goes. Lovely stuff. Get our bump, get our bronze, get our spores. We know the drill. Plenty to scrap. Alright. Need to head quickly to a bazaar. Not still in a cave, are we? Not quite. Oi! We've got places to be, my friend. Get out of it. Oh, Shah is here. Are there players nearby? If it's just us fighting him, we will get mind controlled and it will despawn. But it's alright. We're not looking to rush him. And in our dailies. Big swoops. Very much enjoy skyriding. Getting used to the name now above dragon riding, but occasionally mess it up. Oh, there's our level 53k. There we go. Lovely stuff. Get our Hearthstone back to an inn. Bump up that rested XP. Oh, pardon me. Don't talk while you're yawning, Barra. Right. Grab that passive. Thank you, Pulley. Delightful music as ever. Oh, wait, hang on now. Oh, we're wearing a shield, that's fine. It's alright. Just a dumb brain moment. Oh, one off. Bum, 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 bum. There we are. Right, jump back on the rogue. Actually get us some levels. A few more people about, that should be fine. 2 minutes. There is an auction house here. How much gold do we have on her? Oh, a decent amount. We're sending things over. What level are these lasting till? Not let me know right there. Okay, 29, 39, 49 on the shoulders, 49 on the tunic. So a lot of these are going to go offline shortly. In terms of they will no longer be granting these XP bonuses. They will have to be swapped out A weapon is already in that case, but that's a gun. Now, these will be things that I kept to unlock the transmog of. Right, we can sell all those though. Not that bothered about the pets or the catch-up gear really. It was more any interesting transmogs. The heirloom ring we should be able to get by the end of it. No.
My goods will serve you well.
Give me that appearance.
May I be of service?
Style tokens we'll have to deal with at some point. When we go through everyone's bags and such before the end. No, I should say before the start of the expansion. We'll figure that out. Have another swig of our drink. Probably abandon our old quests. Get that out of the way. I thought those red wings go very well with the Draenei Eridar skin colour there. Oh, there's that new shield we were talking about. Very nice, all weapons. Should probably bring someone through who can equip a shield. They drop for people who aren't the max level. I don't think we have anyone who can equip a shield though, who would be eligible for said drop, unfortunately. Alright, we begin. The loudest of the events, Ice Crowd. Heyo, Tyrion. Always good to see you. I miss him terribly. Game has kind of done in with a lot of its main paladin characters. Sadly for myself. I know with the
I wonder what Azeroth is
folks
trying to
in the
tell
war
us
within,
with these echoes.
that may be Faerin's place to come in. Right. Let's join in the merry gathering. Bit of blade dancing. Probably need my buffs on first before just hitting the damage button. It's alright. Remember how to play. Goodbye, Mr. Tuskar.
I do not have a target.
Next one. Big old bruiser troll. Model that's been around for a long time. Yeah, not a huge throng of people on a Saturday morning, but enough. As we saw earlier, we try and do it by ourselves. We just get nowhere. Oh no. There goes Fizzlebang. I've been calling him Millhouse for days, but it is Wilfred Fizzlebang. A pair of them fit that same like bank in my memory of, loud gnome doing unadvised things. Just wait for Jiraxus, he'll be yelling next.
I cannot attack that target.
Ow. Oh, the back-to-back dialogue of it. Another small consideration, I think. I know when you slash yell, it's meant to echo through the entire zone, but maybe having a little more of a limit on it. When they will be up and down for a while. Damn. All of the dots, damage. There everybody goes. Follow the crowd. Everybody swoops on about. Which one are we going for? In the mountains. Good old for him.
These echoes must be contained.
I am out of range.
We're not. We're in rage. And while it won't be as much XP as Remix, it's still vastly more than the average gain, especially when pre-patch bumped around the numbers, as it so often does before an expansion. Trying to keep our health up so we're not just getting murdered by AoE. Energy up. Make sure we're always hitting roll them bones. Remembering all the icons when we're jumping across different classes and knowing which buffs are active and what they all do. That's why, apart from my main, and even then, being able to truly learn and understand a class tends to be difficult. And more time is committed to, I hit things, I get transmog. There we go. We level again. Not quite. In the mountains. Oh, he has to say it every time. Is that one up there? I can't quite hover it. It's too close to the name Ice Crown. There we are. Oh no, that's just like the radiant echoes on the map. I see, I see. Go grab some lumber.
I wonder what Azeroth is trying to tell us.
Stay near other players, so we're not in trouble. Oi, give me that lumber. No. There we are. That bit on the pile. It's nice they're all not completely combat based. Just changes the flow a little bit. Love that little grappling hook. There's enough folks about working together. Always fun to see. Giant roaming maggots aside, of course. Ooh. So this is one of those like little hidden transmogs they added for the event. It's a basic little dagger. I'll take it. It's not as cool as say the shields or something, but I will never turn my nose up at more transmog. Don't want either of those, so we'll take that one.
Thank you, High Lord. Now, challenger,
Alright, let's go kill him ourselves this time.
Are these Azeroth's memories or ours?
Prepare for oblivion!
Yep. I feel like Garrosh in the stands being like, that gnome just tried to kill the horde.
Behold the absolute power of Wilfred Fizzlebang, Master Summoner!
It's better when we're seeing it.
To me, demon.
And dead. Energy regen, finishing moves. Don't stand in the fire. That's somebody dead. Roll them bones. That gives us combo points, damage, and more blade flurry stuff. Might as well hit the ad first. Quickly get a heal going. Oh yeah, someone absolutely got murdered. Ow. Don't know what it was, but it hit a snoot pretty hard. Engine axis. Oh, and again! Absolutely gonna die. Is it worth vanishing? Oh, now we take this potion. We have a couple left. From who knows where. Cannot recall.
I am out of range.
Down he goes. Just about. We are. How much did that get us? About 3 bars. We'll take it. We know some of our heirlooms will be shutting off in another level or so. Unfortunately. Back to the wood.
Are these Azeroth's memories or ours?
Wood collecting, Khadgar? Probably ours. Well, if Azeroth is the planet and they're getting very upset. Could go either way. Bit crowd control. Trying to figure out how to best survive against basic ass enemies. Don't you hook it us, Worgen. Casually having a mini-boss fight over here. Hey, another outlaw. Nope, we're inside the wood. It's fine. Back on the pile. People spinning as they figure out, oh, I don't hit the button that comes up on screen, I just click it. Alright, we did the exact same thing. No. Too fast for you, Ghost. Oh, wood. Wood!
We are
It's
all
RTS
haunted
memories.
by the memories of Northrend, and now they've come to life.
Battle of Middle-earth always bouncing around my mind for resource collection more than any other game.
I remember this one.
Thank you, High Lord. Now, challengers.
Oh, this dude
I will
in
begin
trouble.
the ritual of summoning. When
Oh.
I am done, a fearsome
Nope.
doom guard
Be quiet,
will-
Fizzlebank. We're heading to Arthas. We're fine. Ooh, yeah, just punch your headset casually as you stretch. Big mistake. It rocked my ears. Right, all we need to do is not stand in any of the stuff he puts about. It grows, it grants us 2 combo points. We're learning. It's good. Oh, that dude dead. What's that? Okay. Oh, Valkyrie. I'm sorry, Valkyria. Let's keep it lore appropriate. Best we can. Whee! Do our heal. Of our dice again for Blade Flurry doing more. Unfortunate when it is on cooldown, but there we are. There it is. Oh, where's the Desecrate? Defile, not Desecrate. Ah, Arthas. As cool as Xalatath is, it's hard to imagine we'll ever see his like again with quite the same fervour that folks had. Like, they'd need to make another RTS or another game within the franchise to build up a villain through something else to achieve that same level. That's not to say that Xal'Tav's bad by any means. I'm very much enjoying all they're doing with her. It'd just be interesting to see what they can do for the World Soul Saga going forward. What they can do if they start branching out to more games. They have the team who, I think it might be the mobile developer, working on potentially bringing other stuff within the IP. Or building other games, rather, within the IP. Can't imagine we'll get anything crazy. I'd have always liked like an action, not necessarily a Diablo, but more like a Devil May Cry, a God of War, something where we're the over-the-shoulder player character. Plenty of lore characters in WoW where that would be more than doable. I imagine it's picking where do you place your bets, on which character do you do so. But even if you just made a game like separate about Arthas, as a lot of folks want for a movie, and I think it works for a movie. But for a side game, you probably want a character that is then going to show up within WoW. That you can't bank on looking backwards, content going forwards. Ow, 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 ow. Too much defile. There we go. And we got us level. Slowly but surely on the echoes. As long as we can get them to 50 before launch, I'll take it. What? Remember to hand in the quest. Alright, that's more of those. Have a quick look at our talents. I'm not a big fan of the jumping in and out of stealth stuff. That's for my hotbar, please. Alright, that's another set done. Now let's have a good old gander at our remix characters. Just been doing a warrior, so we don't quite need to do him now. I think our priest probably be the next bet as we're going through. Anyone who can heal will get those faster raid queues. So we'll jump back on the priest. Hopefully should have a decent amount of banked rested XP to make this Oh, she would have it if we'd have put her in the inn. Oh, big mistake. Big mistake. It's alright. We'll just jump and do our dailies on each of them now.
Protect the truth.
Keep that train going, as it were. Ooh. Throws a star at people, healing and bounces back. A ring of energy around you that expands and does more healing. We'll take that one. Then on this side, that's to mana regen and unlocking the bottom of the tree. We'll take that. Let's see. How's this one look? Oh, very nice. Very pretty. Right. Let's get ourselves signed up. Ooh. Got the raids at the end, but it will be easier and quicker to get the ones at the start. No, do you know what? We've been doing that for days now. Days and days and days. We'll go from the end. Try and change things up a bit. Both for yourselves as viewers and for folks watching either the show or down the line. As obscene as that might seem. There we go. All sorted. How's our inventory looking on this character? Not looked after. Dear oh dear. Come on, let's get all this scrapped and away. Build that bronze up. Much to spend. I think it's maybe 8 days time or so. We're going to have to really take the time to go through and get all of our goodies. Make sure we're not wasting any of this bronze. There we go. How are we looking? About 2 minutes, about 2 minutes. And then 17. That'll probably be quicker because we can heal. And that seems to be what takes the longest to fill up. Let's go have a glance and see if the Shower of Anger's up. See if we can get to him before things Get us into queue before he dies. Ah, denied. Always denied. Get over there just in case when we come out he's spawned. Ooh. I haven't done this one in the remix yet.
I hope to see you again soon.
I vaguely remember it from back in the day. Where's our tank? Need to keep pace, please. Tank is here being like, why isn't everyone here? Oh. Oh, that was a big mistake. Oh, I just let the tank die. Nobody saw that. This isn't being streamed. It's alright, we'll kill this thing. Then we'll resurrect the tank, who's probably screaming at me in the chat. Not the reason we have the chat turned off per se, but... absolutely asleep at the keyboard. What do you mean interrupted? Because they fought a boss. Well, they're like 2 rooms ahead. Oh no, they're up there. Well, wait, I did this. It was my fault.
Surrender our right to rule the destiny of our people.
Let's get a quick heal on ourselves. Oh, Fervor's killing me. Right, I did this to myself.
Impossible! Our might is the greatest in all the empire.
Just remembering the dialogue. Okay, they got back up. We'll set focus to the tank this time.
Only Clan Hearth
Too far
and Clan
away.
Kargash would stoop to such treachery. Only the dogs of Clan Gothan would point fingers at others for their own failures. Your clan is the most desperate. It must have been you.
They've all gone down the side. I remember. Nope.
Only the honorless clan
Why are me in the tank here?
would bring in a lesser race to do their bidding.
Oh, they skipped this fight.
Traitors.
Oh no, they just argue. Okay.
A well-scripted exchange, but I hear something. Stop them!
We're so behind. We're so behind. Can't believe it. Oh, tank. I feel so bad. Oh, don't mind you, Steely Lizard. Oh yeah, I remember this place. Demon Hunter will certainly have a lot more movement than I will. I'm not looking at those last title points yet. Just casually taking 243%. Doesn't surprise me. Do it here. Just make the quiet apology.
What is this? More have come to you are not the face the might of my arse mine.
Oh, I wanted to see that, boss. Oh, we're not doing any of those. It doesn't even count. God damn it. We abandoned these. An absolute shame. Different scenario as well. This was the the alliance one with the dwarves. Oh no, it's the Demon Hunter again.
I know it well. The Frostmane trolls breed and plot atop that snow-blown mesa.
I can only imagine.
I
what
must
foul
get closer.
business this
Please let me get closer. I can't deal with this again. Not the shame.
I am out of range.
Good morning, AJ. Just to see one of the WoW streams. It's alright, we've just been playing shamefully, and we let our tank die. That's fine. I can't remember the scenario at all. Okay, free spirit from the troll. Oh, he's right there. That's fine. We are just leveling up all of our different alts in the Pandaria remix. Nice little bonus game mode if you're unaware. Lots of collectible goodies and rewards and a different way to play. The new expansion coming in about 12 days. It's very exciting. So we're just kind of getting all these tasks out of the way so we can enjoy the expansion to its fullest. This mode gives us a little cloak, which gets overpowered. So people are running around one-shotting all kinds of things. Oh, Burning Crusade, long time ago now. Goodness me. I played at the started playing at the tail end of Vanilla, then into Burning Crusade. I played the game on and off, but I've played each expansion at least for a little bit. Very excited for the trilogy of expansions coming ahead. And this mode's a silly bit of fun and just a good way to level alts and get transmog. Which if you haven't played since Burning Crusade... Well, no transmog, which is just the whole collection of bits and bobs. Seeing all of your gear. It's kind of the main reason I kept playing. And another level. Moving very quick.
Well fought. I see the dark irons are as
Gems out, gems in. It was a decent bit of story. Especially now Moira is actually a more important character in the game. It's good to see.
The Bronzebeards and Wildhammers will regret not having been here to share in your glory.
Better they're grateful for the clansmen spared death on this miserable hillock. We
Our spools for those big bonuses.
Not to shame.
Well, you've done just that. Come, let us return.
Oh, Varian, I miss him. Oh no, completely understand that. It's one of those games where if you really want to get into it, you have to invest the time one way or another. Even playing casually, it's still a big time sink. But keeping it limited to the morning streams, so it doesn't have to overshadow or overtake other games that we want to get played on the channel. There's been a lot of changes. Especially again since Burning Crusade, there's been all sorts that's gone on since. Lots of ups and downs. Some good things, lots of horrendous things. Both in-game and out. Such as it is with companies. You remember Illidan? Big villain of the Burning Crusade, you know, you are not prepared. All of that. Oh my god, that tree is huge. You wait. The Night Elves have a new capital city and a brand new tree. That happened lately. But Illidan's story went from him being, obviously, everything that happened in Warcraft 3, to a villain in the Burning Crusade, to demon hunters are now in the game, on a starting zone with Illidan, explaining why he did what he did, and what he did was for the greater good.
Be careful. Goodbye.
He is currently imprisoning Sargeras,
You seek answers?
like trapped with the Titans on a floating ship somewhere in space. And we will likely see his return in a few expansions' time in the last Titan. Last BlizzCon they announced not just one expansion, they announced 3 in a row. Kind of a new approach and putting the story a little more front and center. And this mode is essentially just a bit of time travel. To go back to an old expansion. All kinds of bits and bobs. Lots of bind on account changes. Making the game a lot more alt-friendly. That one. Now, I'm not a good player or a meta player or anything like that. So don't expect any revelations or true understanding here. Aye. Illidan had some. There's a cinematic, like an in-game cinematic called "Rejection of the Gift," which is just a wonderfully done piece, where there's like a prophecy calling Illidan the Chosen One, and a Naru, which you'll remember from Burning Crusade, those big light crystal beings. It's like, you will be the chosen warrior of light, and Illidan's like, no, that's not who I am. And then this being tries to forcibly change him into a warrior of light. It's like, the light will heal your scars. And all of his like green fell scars are getting healed up gold. And she's being restrained in like these holy bands and rings around him. And he just screams out, I am my scars. And eventually just blows up and takes down this light being. And we see characters like Turalian, who's like one of those statues in Stormwind, back into the game, attack Illidan for it, and him say, our destiny is our own, this kind of spiel. And it was really great just to have more Illidan. And Liam O'Brien, the voice actor, got a lot of love for him. Great fellow. We're just casually flying around at the moment, gathering our bronze. Oh, there's the Dead World boss. Always is. Give me that. If you've never seen Pandaria, which was the Pandaren expansion, the Panda people, all from Warcraft 3, if you remember Chen Stormstout. Picking the last set of raids might have been a bad idea for queue times, but we'll see. We'll just have a good fly around the zones, get some discovery XP. Taking it very chill on these WoW mornings. I hope over time, as more people get in, it becomes more of a morning chat show than just me flying around doing the same thing, but the expansion should help with that, because then it'll all be new to me. New story to engage with, new things to go through, new game modes. There's like a solo friendly mode called Delves, which is like a pinnacle content in the vein of Dungeons and Raids that they want to keep evergreen. There's a lot of good stuff in WoW coming up, and Dragonflight has been excellent foundational change. That's a very good point. Hence his line, I am my scars. Again, I would highly recommend looking up that cinematic. Just if you were a fan of Illidan back in the day, it's a wonderful piece to watch. That's Rejection of the Gift, it's called. Just a lovely bit of story work there. And even in the worst expansions, there has been some excellent cinematics and storytelling, just in how they portray characters and how far that tech's come along. Again, if you weren't in Wrath, then like the first time they did that, there was a cinematic called the Wrathgate. That was like their first time doing an in-game cinematic, and it still holds up remarkably well. Direction and cinematography kind of carrying it. Oh, that was a mistake. Well. Goodness. Flew a little close to the bug there. Or the dinosaur, rather. Get me back up. Got more to discover for XP. I'll build up some stamina. Some very big Nubis mistakes on this stream this morning. Letting us tank die. Eating crap and falling into the water. It's fine. It might be worth knocking one of these raids off and picking the one that we know has queues. Let's land for a moment and do so. Just for expediency's sake. Take off Forgotten Depths. And we will bob on the Guardians of the Vault. And I could be doing a lot of the different like quests throughout each zone. Main quest, side quest, there's all kinds of content in the remix. That's a very fair point. The intricacies of the story I used to know a lot better. I got to the point of getting all the different books and novels and comics and even the manga at one point Haven't done as many in recent years. Kept up with a couple. But all the video games and lore that I know, WoW's probably the one I have the most, like, banked knowledge. Oh, it's alright. It's more trying to get some of these dailies done within the half hour left on the stream this morning. When the War Within comes out, we'll probably do streams that are a little longer, depending. But given that the nature of them is just repetitive at the moment, you know, it's where we are. It's the end of the expansion cycle. And the new, like, this remix mode had like a time limit of 90 days. So it's been going for a while now. And I know it wasn't going to draw in like a huge amount of viewership or anything like that. The Good Morning Azeroth, as I've termed the show, is more setting up a precedent going forwards. So that when the expansion comes out, we've already got kind of a setup going, we've got a time frame going. We kind of get the vibes I'm after out there already, for lack of a better term. I desperately wanted to get streaming up and started at least before this pre-patch that changed so many things about the base game. And to get myself into the habit of being like, right, you're up at 7 in the morning, getting yourself ready, you're getting on stream, and keeping a good schedule. And it has helped wonders for that. It's done a lot for me. Again, even if they're quiet, I don't mind. I'll have to see for the War Within itself. Vast majority of people skip quest texts. I tend to really try and read them, and if on stream, I will try silly voices. We will see how we go, though. As we fly around for bronze, we're keeping an eye on the little stars on the map, on the top right there, as there may be some rares about. Well, that was very much the information. Every day when I do one of these streams, I make a little WoW short with that intro. And every single one of them starts in that same way. Even as I get better at editing and adding the effects, that hasn't changed. There's probably about a good 18 of them now or so, with variations on Good Morning Azeroth. I cannot quite hit the heights of Robin Williams' ability to change that up, or to really stretch it out, as I try and figure out what blows my microphone and what doesn't. But it was very much the inspiration. Though it's been a very long time since I've seen that movie. God, I must have been like early teens, maybe? It's a very long time ago. Yes. Good morning, Vietnam! Like, that's the whole thing with Robin Williams. That was the inspiration for doing so. It's just been so long, I struggle to remember the plot. Or much of the movie. I should really rewatch it at this point. It's been a very long time. But that was one of those movies that my dad was like, this is a movie you need to watch. Like, he had it in that same vein of like Shawshank Redemption, Last of the Mohicans, or one of the early ones like Lord of the Rings for me. It was like, this is an important movie that you should just see. And I'm no movie buff, especially in recent years. Kind of butchered my attention span. It's made it hard to watch movies. I remember enjoying it quite a lot. It is definitely in need of a rewatch. Even just for like getting some variants on my Good Morning Azeroth to try and hit some of those notes. Understand how he did so. He's a big fan of video games himself. Let's see if that other world boss is here as we wait for these queues. Yep, and he's dead. No surprise there. Hello, Galleon. How's your corpse looking? Oh, very sad. Hit a bit more of map discovery, because why not? Just let the music of Pandaria wash over us. It certainly stood in extremely high regard. I definitely need to watch it now as an adult and get some proper appreciation for the smaller details. And especially that man's career as a whole. Oh, we're healer spec. I forgot. Ow, 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 ow. It means I can heal myself. What am I doing? Should be able to kill this rare easy enough. We'll just spam smite. Oh. Oh, but she's going to heal herself. Don't have an interrupt. I have a scream. I could probably scream at her. Game wants me as damage for the raid? Not even healer? That's wild, game. We were waiting for healers for so long. Sorry, Miss Rare. I just have to escape you for a moment. Please stop following me. We'll be back for you, I promise. Thank you. Swap to damage then. We've got a little starter build option, which helps us spec much easier. Highlights the ones it thinks we're doing. Fascinatingly, from Burning Crusade, these like talent trees might seem pretty familiar, but there were plenty of years where they were really thinned out into like rows of 3, and they were just big ones to take. They'd gotten rid of all the little numbers. Back to holy. Damn it. Now, you won't be seeing much of this raid, because the LFR match-made version is very quick. Meet Law Walker Cho, a delightful narrator and fellow. But because everyone's so overpowered in this remix mode, everything dies super duper duper quick. You don't really get mechanics. We don't really get much in the way of interaction. There's that first boss over there, and it is dead. So we're moving very quickly, but when we're all here just leveling, nobody really minds.
The door mechanism seems to have activated with the demise. We seem to have awakened a spirit of some kind.
It's been so quick his dialogue can't keep up.
So the stories were true.
Everybody dead.
Tender your souls, mortals. These are the halls.
I can't keep pace. I need to remember my speed boosts. Boop.
If they only knew what horror.
Now, I haven't done this mode enough on one singular character to get OP to the point of, oh, I can solo raids and things. I don't quite think we've got time left in the 9 or so days the mode has left to do so, but it would have been nice.
Is not the last we have seen of Feng.
People were using exploits from the expansion that had not been fixed, unfortunately, and got super overpowered super quick. But I think that's more on the team being completely blindsided by that, because those devs were not here when they built Mists. Well, most of them weren't. Oh yeah, they love brewing beer. It's like several dungeons and storylines about brewing beer. Like, Pandaria has some excellent just quest lines, just some excellent stories to go through, and like the first character I did in this mode, I wasn't doing raids and dungeons to level, I was just going through the story and reliving that experience. And I really enjoyed it. Like, Pandaria at the time was pretty underrated and hated by some, because you had people going, oh, they're just copying Kung Fu Panda that came out recently, and it's like, you know, you had to do your young nerd thing of, actually, this is from Warcraft 3, so many years beforehand, you know, and getting up on said pedestal. But it had some fantastic content and was a really big jump in how they portrayed story. Lessons they have learned from and often circled back to in the years after. Right, go on. Do your funny laugh and disappear into your portal. Here he goes. Some funny wow jank. And he's still tiny in the bottom there because they couldn't quite make him disappear. Oh, very silly. I love it though. And there's a lot more accessible things. Hello, Chen. There he is in his beer storyline. In terms of how the game can approach you. Again, alt friendliness and solo players. In Dragonflight, they added a follower dungeon mode where you can do dungeons with NPCs whose AI works pretty well. So you don't have to risk someone as socially anxiety-ridden as I have been over the years when a lot of people can get in and just rush through the dungeon, don't want you to ever mess up or die, or go in without learning mechanics, you know, that very bull rush, get it done, yell at someone who fails, all of that. Now I don't have to deal with that. At least going into expansions from now. And they're going to do a similar thing with raids as well in the War Within. I haven't quite got all the details on that just yet. Oop. I've got a gem equipped that when I heal people it damages them and they do bonus damage, so I'm keeping an eye on that. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not like they weren't aware, but the game had been in development for long enough beforehand that any changes they made will have been not quite as direct, but given the success of them, I don't doubt they took some inspirations going forward.
Show your enemy the meaning of pain.
I imagine it was just more frustrating to the devs at the time of like, no, that's not what we... That's not okay. Let people think what they want to think. We know.
I must get closer.
And to be fair, those movies were really solid. I don't know about... I can't quite remember the... I think there was a fourth that I haven't seen. But I remember the first one being very enjoyable. The second one having Gary Oldman. Oh no, I absolutely do. I'm just watching my language. Like, Gary Oldman being an angry peacock was fantastic. Like, that was a great bit of casting, and he just did it so well. And the third one I remember a little less of. I think he found some of his family? Question mark? The bad guy was an ox? That one just doesn't stick in mind as well. This raid is the Palace of the Thunder King, who was one of the bigger villains in Mists of Pandaria. A very beloved raid. Oh no, we weren't fast enough. Oh, we were. Get in, get in, get in. Come on, mute. We'll boost you. We're in. No, we're not in. Moving so fast we don't get to the encounter. It's alright, at least we can watch it from here, unlike those poor sods behind the door. But back in the day, people loved this raid. It had a lot of really interesting mechanics. It was a very difficult fight. And while I've never been, even in my time in a guild, I was never quite at the level of doing like proper raiding on a regular basis. But looking at some of like the YouTubers like Preach who go back and look into the raiding scene and the history of it and the different guilds, I find endlessly fascinating.
You have earned my ire. I will make an example of you, such that all who look upon my might will tremble and submit.
Oh no, we're coming. The platform.
Slayer of kings and gods. You would challenge me in my own sanctum? Witness your folly!
Again, on this mode specifically, we don't... Oh, somebody died. Well, we don't get a huge amount of the mechanics and we're not really in any danger. But, to give you some idea of, like, the scale, for lack of a better term, or the vibe they were going for. Big Thunder God man. His helmet being a plate piece, I was excited by at first, but it doesn't look as good on the human. Oh, absolutely. Nothing has to be overly complicated every time. There is space for both having a good time, accepting something for what it is, as, you know, at the end of the day, a kid's movie that can still cater to adults, and a space for the more thought-provoking. They don't always have to fight each other. Or compete, for lack of a better term. Alright, the queues are popping now. Do that one. We'll make sure we hit our 7% XP buff. Oh, we missed one. So that cape now gets to 250% XP. Very chunky. This is the start of the raid we just did. So they're not in chronological order when we're queuing up for so many. It just puts us in whatever's quickest. There's that first boss. Big troll being fought in there. Absolutely. The basic building blocks of the hero's journey. We had like, you may remember in WoW, it depends if you played Horde or Alliance back in the day, but the human kingdoms like Prince Anduin, who was a small child with a horrendously creepy model back in the day, he has got to the point now where he was king, has gone through several wars, got mind controlled by an evil deaf god man, to put it simply, and then was forcibly made to commit horrendous acts, murder, torture, all kinds of things, and has been going on a pilgrimage before the new expansion, where he has been suffering through PTSD, that's how you say it, and hitting a bit of a darker stride for him. His hero's journey has kind of gone up, down, or down, 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 down. But we know in this expansion that he's meeting a few folks who are very zealous, light-based people, and maybe they will help him reconnect to the light and get himself put back together, bless him. He has a beard now, which is wild to think about. For how many years he was just this pure-skinned, very crying, very emotional individual. And WoW did need that, especially with enemies like Garrosh, who will just angry, screaming, smash things. A bit more nuanced than I'm giving it, but there we are. Like, absolutely. And a lot of people, as you say, people like that modern almost, let's make everyone an anti-hero or make everyone snarky, kind of defeats the point a little bit. But you don't see too much of that in WoW. Like, Illidan managed that being an anti-hero, and it worked well for him, but he had a lot of history to back that up. And was a villain first and foremost. Not necessarily if we count Warcraft 3, but there we are. A lot of people in the community were like, I don't like that he's turned into a bit of a crybaby, and it's like, let's separate you playing a video game for a moment and just consider the experiences the man has been through. Right? That's a lot. You would not just come out of that a-okay. That's why I'm glad while from what I understand, I haven't looked into spoilers or too much about the beta footage. Like, the overall main story of the next expansion will be a little shorter, but there'll be a lot more dialogue and a lot more opportunities to sit and talk to the characters, optionally, if you want to. Exactly. Completely agree. Oh, it's Garajal. I forgot you came back.
They only make me strong. Let us prove to you the might of the Zandalari. We will
We're just mainly trying to keep up with the front runners. You can see the stream of people that we're in, a little stream behind us, desperately trying not to get locked out of the boss room. We still get credit if we're close enough. Like, it's not that big of an issue. It's just the nature of Pandaria Remix being so very rapid. There's dragon people in WoW now. You may have, like this individual here with the giant wings. That was a new one in Dragonflight. Kind of Deathwing's legacy. Too many ghosts. No, thank you.
witness the power of the Spirit Binder.
And this is a troublesome boss in the remix because there's a bug where if you kill it too quickly, the fight doesn't end. And everyone has to get themselves killed. Which I've seen a few times in the remix, unfortunately. We will see how it goes this time. What? There's 3 of them. Hey, it worked first time. Fantastic. Oh, and our queue's just popping for the next one. We grab our loot. Barely made it in time. We jump straight into the next one. That's why we level so quick. Hit our 7% buff. Get our bronze. Get our spools. Do our upgrades at the end. They do certainly have that vibe, only with wings. There's a lot of bits of customization you can do with them. They've only got one class available at the moment, but we know they're going to be adding more to them over the course of the expansion. Adding, like, you know, your warriors and your mages and all of that. But with all the changes to, like, flying and dragon riding now becoming sky riding, they have an ability where you just open out your wings and you can just fly. And that's been pretty great. Obviously not within a raid or a dungeon, but out in the world it works very well. I remember this room and this fight doing it even on the easier raid mode back in the day. It's like a beholder looking boss that summoned like a giant area of black, like a maze and a laser, and nobody in LFR really knew the direction they were going. Ended with a lot of death. Unfortunately, won't be able to show that off because he'll die too quickly.
I am out of range.
Doesn't that depend on which edition of D&D you're playing? I know in 5th edition I don't recall them getting wings. I know sorcerers can do that for if they're draconic bloodline. And I don't know about the changes coming with all the I don't know if they're still calling it 1 D&D, but whatever edition they're doing next. Don't get me wrong, I think that's really cool. I tend to play Dragonborns. That's what Baroque was in D&D for me. He was just a Dragonborn. Brass Dragonborn. It was brass or bronze, whichever one had lightning. Love him dearly. But as a DM, you never really get to play him. That's okay. He occasionally would show up as a cameo. But again, in older editions, I wouldn't be surprised. But my knowledge of D&D itself only really started, like, as 5th edition released. I remember bobbing to, like, a local game store. We're just going about with a few mates at the time. One mate, can't quite remember. Picking it up, not really understanding it. Having a good laugh, but not really getting all the rules and not wanting to engage with all of them. So it became kind of a very simple game of using 1 dice for everything. Then I started watching Critical Role at the time, which, when it was first starting to air, and understanding, oh, D&D can be this, and this is kind of how it's played, and then seeing other channels and people who, like, get more into the mechanics, people who focus more on the story, and being like, oh, D&D is this whole giant thing. And understanding how it's like a foundation for all the RPGs, like Dragon Age Origins, or older games of that nature. Like, realising just how much had been done through that baseline of D&D over the years. Grew a real appreciation for it ever since. You see the modern incarnations of, like, whether it's Crit Role or Baldur's Gate 3, how big it is nowadays. It's lovely to see. Especially looking back at some of the horror stories where people are like, oh, children are summoning the devil, oh no. It's alright, AJ, it ain't a worry. And I'm pretty sure Draconic Sorcerers in 5th edition do get wings when they hit max level.
The power, it cannot be wielded this way. You tempt forces you do not understand.
It's alright, we're just killing ads in here. The reason I'm very excited for a more story mode raid that I can go in at my own pace is to take the time to actually look through, engage the environment, which if you don't have a raid group to do, you're not going to get in the easy mode. People, like with dungeons, just want to get through quick, they want to get their stuff done. And that's fine, I get it. But I want to look at the stuff. I want to go, ooh. Oh, save a life. Don't quite know what all my buttons do, but I know a lot of them are healing, so it's fine. Well, that person just died. No, flash heal. Okay, that's the quick one. That's the heal over time, which is also damaging people, because I'm an idiot. Do I have a combat res on Priest at the moment? I do not believe so. Someone should have a combat res. A lot of different classes have loads of it on a lower cooldown now. Right, come on, big fella. Give him a moment. There we are. Someone's already bobbed the debuff on. That's fine. We'll bob it on again in a moment. Oop. Yes, I love Storm Sorcerers. I've got a real bias towards several things in fantasy. It's plate armor, great swords, some healing, and lightning stuff. If I can make holy lightning, all the better. One day I will think of a build that can comprise a paladin who can also be a storm sorcerer and get all the benefits of, like, maybe what's it called, a Tempest cleric as well, so they can do like thunderous blow or something. Again, it's been a long time, since a few years since I've had a proper read through my old books piled up next to me here. But you would hit things, be a thunderous bang, and then you would like send them flying. Alright, that is all of our little raid things. We are going to take a ticket back to a bazaar to hand in our quests. Boop. Hello, Eternus. There we go.
You seek answers?
Always do.
Guard yourself.
Dual-wielding samurai, eh? I had a friend who started playing a samurai in his new campaign and was having a lot of fun with it. And I kind of multi-classed one of my NPCs in my old campaign into being one. They've got some really cool abilities. It's more keeping track of all the changes they'll be making. I know they've said the newer edition that's coming will retroactively work with all the older stuff, but we don't know the specifics. Alright, let's get me gems in before we call it that. Boop. Boop. What race are you thinking of to go with that samurai? Anything particular calling to mind? While I clicky away here. Dismantle our goodies. Oop. Ah, I see. Some good old Buildcraft and Theorycraft. I can't turn my nose up at it. I am always more focused on roleplay than build stuff, but I have to respect build stuff, especially when you can make something really insane. Hitting 4 times by level 4 is obscene. I love the idea. I hope you get to it sooner rather than later. I know for a lot of folks, especially busy lives, getting D&D sessions down, even just trying to organise once a month with a group of folks, even in person or just online through Zoom or something, it's still the hardest part for the vast majority of people. So when it does happen, I hope it goes well, perhaps a session 0 or some such to get you going, but very much depend. My main in this game is a human paladin, for 2 reasons. It was what I vibed with the most, and then the werewolf race, the Worgen, did not have paladins, otherwise I'd have probably gone with them. But I feel like that comes up as always a matter of, well, I'm a human in real life, and I've got all these other options, so I completely get why it tends to be lower on the list. Aye, that tends to be the case for the vast majority of people, is squeezing them in at that time, or joining multiple groups so you get one more often. See, another thing I've heard is people like, I have a D&D game with one group this week and I'll see them next month, but I organise one online with this group and then I can see them next month. And you kind of bounce it like that if you have the time to do so. Right. That's another set of dailies done though, and another character. We'll bob on over to our warband screen. All Baroque here. 4. kind of main characters. We've got our Dragonborn looking fella. Also using the same moniker, going for that bronzy brass colour. Like him a lot. Again, I don't blame people for not doing so. Get sick of humans in real life. I tend to not hold much in terms of like the specific lore of the preset or pre-built worlds of D&D. I always tend to go into them making my own. But a conversation for another day, I'm afraid, AJ. We will be calling it here for the morning stream. So I'll say thank you all very much for joining me. Thank you for coming along, chatting and watching. If you enjoyed yourselves, please drop the stream a like. Subscribe for more content. We will be back this evening with more 2XKO. That's Riot's League of Legends based fighting game. We had a lot of fun yesterday. We'll be trying out some more characters. We've got a lot more to do in that regard when it comes to learning. But I respect your protest there, AJ. Take it easy. And for everyone else, much love. Take care, and until next time, bye-bye.